All right, we got the 440 big block that we yanked out of a motorhome, all degreased, soaking in some degreaser just as we speak. Scuffed off all the dirt and oil before I laid this degreaser down, so we'll let this soak for 10 to 15 minutes. We'll rinse it off. It is winter here in Canada, so we got a ton of snow. Our water is frozen on our hoses, so I'll just have to grab a squirt bottle, something like this, squirt it down, and we'll use some brake clean, dry it all up, scuff it, and get this 440 big block ready for some lime green Duplicolor Engine Enamel grabber green paint. We'll lay down some white primer first. It's a high heat primer from Rust-Oleum. There you have it. Just bubbling away, getting all degreased. I yanked off a bunch of bracketry, alternators, distributor, the carburetor, and we have that all laid out nice and neat out here so we can kind of clean up the carburetor. It's a thermoquad. We're gonna clean up the carburetor. It was running well, so I'm not gonna tweak it too much. Clean that up. Alternator, I got a strip bolt from the bracket, so I'll have to remove that bolt, but the alternator is working. We'll polish that up and clean up all the bracketry, spray all this probably like satin black or something like that, so it looks nice when we bolt it all back on. And we got engine mounts, motor mounts here. We'll spray those black and a bunch of other little doodads here. Oh, this goes on top of the 440. Comment below if I can just delete that. I think I'm just gonna make a block off plate, put a gasket down there, and call it a day, because I'm not using any of the emissions that came on the 440 out of the 78 motorhome. So hopefully I can just delete that with a little block off plate. Bam, just like that. The 440 big block has been all degreased. It's just drying up right now. Had to mop out the shop floor. Did 2 rounds of degreasing, scrubbed it, scraped it, scratched it, did whatever I needed to do to get all that kind of grease and grime off. It was actually a pretty clean block, and you can see all the original paint here, all the original labels were on it, peeled all those off. So this is a stock 440 out of a motorhome, and apparently it's only got about 11,000 kilometers on it. Super low kilometers for a 440, and yeah, it's coming out really good, really clean. And that's what you want to see when you have a Mopar motor, right there. 440 big block. As well, you got your stamping on the deck here. Focus, let's see if you can even see it. There's 440. It's got that weird symbol down here. I can't remember what that stands for, but so we'll let that dry up. It's looking really good. And tomorrow we can splish splash it with some paint. Yeah. But with all that being said, I think that the 440 is ready for some fresh paint on the engine. Say goodbye to the Plymouth Duster in the background there. We're gonna cover it up with some plastic and start shaking up those cans and lay down some white primer. Sweet. Alright creators, we finally got the engine covered in some white primer, and I got about 2 coats of this white Rust-Oleum high heat primer on the entire engine. So we're ready to lay down some of that grabber green, I think it's called, by Duplicolor. So let's go ahead, lay down some lime green, and see how this little thing looks. It's gonna look like a goblin. Bada bing, bada boom. Just like that, I don't think a Motorhome 440 has ever looked this cool. We got the lime green Duplicolor Engine Enamal paint laid down. We got 2 heavy coats. I had to run out and grab a second can. So we're gonna lay down 1 more thick coat for our final top coat, and the engine will be all done, but it is looking sick. So let's get to it. Let's lay down our last 3rd coat and be done with this. Alright guys and girls, thanks for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time. Ciao ciao.